You set your alarm for 7 a.m., but at 6:59, your eyes suddenly open. No sound, no vibration. The alarm hasn't gone off yet. So how did your body know? It's not because you have a tiny clock hidden in your skull. The answer involves a surprisingly smart biological clock, a team of hormones, subtle environmental clues, and one big psychological trick. Let's start our investigation here, inside your brain. Deep within it, there's a tiny region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. Think of it as your body's master clock. It's a cluster of about 20,000 neurons that acts like a tiny, very punctual office manager for your entire body, keeping track of a roughly 24-hour cycle. But this internal clock isn't perfect. It needs to be synchronized with the outside world every day. Its main cue? Light. When light enters your eyes, it sends a signal directly to the SCN, essentially telling it, okay, it's daytime, let's get the system running. Similarly, darkness signals that it's time to wind down. This daily sync keeps your internal rhythm aligned with the planet's 24-hour rotation. This is your circadian rhythm. But here's where it gets interesting. Your master clock doesn't just know day and night. It can be trained to anticipate specific events, and the trainer is you. Every time you go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time, you are providing data points. You're creating a routine. Let's say you wake up at 7 a.m. every weekday. For the first day or two, your internal clock is just observing. But after a few days of this pattern, your SCN doesn't just react to the morning, it starts to anticipate it. It learns that 7 a.m. is a significant, recurring event, so it begins to set its own internal alarm, not for 7 o'clock exactly, but for the asterisk window of time leading up to it. Once your brain's clock anticipates the wake-up time, it doesn't just sit and wait. It deploys a biological wake-up crew. This involves a carefully timed cascade of hormones and physiological changes. First, your brain signals a decrease in melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel sleepy. Think of it as the night shift clocking out. Production of melatonin is suppressed as your body gets the signal that the sleep period is ending. As melatonin leaves, other players arrive. One of the most famous is cortisol. While it's known as a stress hormone, it also has a natural daily rhythm. Its levels begin to rise an hour or two before your habitual wake time, acting like a shot of espresso to promote alertness and get your body's engine running. At the same time, your core body temperature, which drops during sleep, begins to rise. This gradual warming also helps shift your body from a state of rest to a state of readiness. All these changes don't wake you up instantly. Instead, they gently lift you out of deep sleep and bring you closer and closer to the threshold of waking. Your body is essentially primed, waiting for the final nudge. And that final nudge doesn't always have to be a loud alarm. Your brain is surprisingly perceptive even during sleep. It's constantly scanning the environment for subtle clues that morning is here. This could be a faint increase in ambient light as the sun begins to rise, even if it's just a sliver of light sneaking past your curtains. Your SCN is extremely sensitive to it. It could also be subtle sounds you don't consciously register, the heating kicking on, the floorboards creaking as a family member wakes up, or the first birds starting to sing. Your brain hears them, even if you don't. When your body is already primed and hovering just below that wake-up threshold, one of these tiny, almost unnoticeable cues can be just enough to gently push you over the edge into full consciousness, right at 6:59. But there's one more powerful ingredient: psychology. Have you ever noticed this happens more often when you have an early flight, a big exam, or an important meeting? That's not a coincidence. When you go to bed knowing you absolutely cannot be late, your brain enters a state of heightened vigilance. Your internal office manager is on high alert, essentially telling the system, whatever you do, don't miss this one. This psychological stress can amplify the release of hormones like cortisol and lead to lighter, more fragmented sleep, especially in the later part of the night. This brings you even closer to the wake-up threshold, making you far more likely to be woken by a subtle cue, or even by your own internal anticipatory processes. This heightened vigilance can make your sleep lighter and more fragmented, especially during the final hours before waking. You're more easily aroused because part of your brain is already on standby, listening for trouble. This psychological stress can amplify the morning cortisol rise, essentially giving your biological wake-up crew an extra shot of espresso. The whole system becomes more sensitive and more likely to trigger before the alarm. There's another crucial factor at play called the homeostatic sleep drive, or sleep pressure. Think of it as a sleepiness meter that builds all day. When you finally go to bed, this meter is full. As you sleep, your brain clears out sleep-inducing molecules like adenosine, and this pressure gradually decreases. After 7 or 8 hours of quality rest, the meter is nearing empty, making it much easier to wake. So let's put it all together. Your circadian rhythm has primed you for waking, your sleep pressure is low, and your psychological anticipation has made the entire system extra sensitive. You're a coiled spring. This is why your body isn't aiming for 7 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds AM with laser precision. It's aiming for a wake-up window, perhaps from 6:45 to 7:05. Your internal system is just trying to get close. And this brings us to the final and perhaps most important piece of the puzzle, your memory. The 6:59 wake-up feels so uncanny and magical that you remember it vividly. It's a great story, but what about the mornings you woke up at 6:48 or 6:52, or the many days you slept right through until the alarm blared? Those moments aren't as dramatic, so they don't stick. This is a classic case of confirmation bias. We instinctively pay more attention to the evidence that confirms our belief, that our body has a supernatural clock, and we ignore the evidence that doesn't. So the real phenomenon isn't that your body can magically tell time to the minute, it's that your body is great at predicting a general window, and your brain is great at remembering the lucky shots. Waking up at 6:59 is the result of your trained biology, low sleep pressure, and subtle environmental cues all aligning perfectly. It's a biological bullseye, but one born of probability, not magic. So the next time you wake up a minute before your alarm, don't look for a hidden microchip. Instead, you can thank your incredibly predictable routine and your brain's natural love for a good story. There's also your homeostatic sleep drive, or sleep pressure. Think of it like a tank that fills with sleepiness all day. While you sleep, that tank slowly drains. By the early morning, this sleep pressure is at its lowest. This makes your brain much more sensitive to all the other wake-up signals we've talked about, from cortisol to morning light. Finally, there's the biggest trick of all, your own memory. Waking up at 6:59 feels so precise and magical that your brain flags it as a special event worth remembering. You don't remember the dozens of times you woke up at 6:48 or were brutally woken by the alarm. Your brain ignores the misses and highlights the one spectacular hit. Okay, we've assembled our clues: a trained internal clock, a hormonal wake-up crew, and environmental nudges. But that still doesn't fully explain the spooky precision. Waking up at 6:59 feels different from waking up at 6:48. This is where the final piece of the puzzle comes in, a psychological trick. It's called confirmation bias. Your brain loves a good story. And I woke up 1 minute before my alarm is a fantastic story. It feels significant, almost supernatural, so your brain remembers it. But what about the morning you woke up at 6:43 or 5:15, or the 5 days in a row the alarm actually had to blast you out of bed? Your brain tends to discard those memories as uninteresting data. They don't fit the cool narrative. Your body isn't trying to nail 6:59 on the dot. It's aiming for a general wake-up time first window. But because of confirmation bias, the handful of times it lands a coincidental bullseye feel like proof of an impossible skill. So let's solve the mystery of 6:59. It's not magic. It's a perfect storm of factors. Your brain's master clock learns your routine. It sends out a hormonal wake-up crew to prepare your body. Your sleeping mind picks up on subtle cues from the world around you. And your own expectations can put the whole system on high alert. When all these things align, you wake up in a predicted window of time. The times it feels impossibly precise are a testament to your brain's love of a good story. In the end, your body did not read the clock, it read the routine. And sometimes, it guessed the ending before the alarm could spoil it. Has this ever happened to you? We'd love to hear your own 6:59 stories. Tell us in the comments how many minutes before your alarm you've woken up. If you enjoyed unraveling this everyday mystery, give this video a like and subscribe for more explanations of the weird and wonderful things our brains and bodies do. Thanks for watching.